Thank you. So update me on the progress.
Alright, so I'm just gonna bring you up to date. Gabby and I have been doing, it is sit in the crate, getting her in and out of the crate. It's getting better. She's not 100% there. She'll go in. I have to give her a little break on the e-collar. I keep switching it, but she's still getting a little bit of necrosis, okay? And, I don't want that to keep happening.
Wait, so before we move on, make sure you're rotating it around the clock, including on the top of the neck.
Okay, got it.
As long as it's not right here, you're good. And it doesn't need to be on in the crate overnight. Are you leaving it on overnight?
Yeah, because she gets stupid. This crate is mold, okay? And, all right, so I had either 2 or 3 questions, depends. So when does one, as a trainer, say that it's more than just bad behavior? At what point do we determine that she has an anxiety problem that maybe she might need some medication?
So let me tell you what true anxiety looks like. True anxiety is we've corrected all the barking, pawing at the crate, spinning, biting the bars.
Yeah.
So that option is taken away. So the dog is in the crate, can't do any of that, but there's excessive drooling. Okay? That's true anxiety. That's very rare.
Okay, so
very
this is what she's got.
rare.
Look at my mouth, okay? She's like this. And it's, right now she's not doing it.
You have to...
Good girl. And so she's not doing it now, she's fine. And at night she doesn't do it. I think we had a little bit of a setback. We got a 7:30 start and an 8 o'clock go to bed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So she gives us a little trouble going to bed. All right? And at some point she's got to get tapped. I'll tap her, whatever. And sometimes the day before yesterday was a real tug of war. Me and her. And it's whining. And I never, ever had a dog, personally or trained. I think I've trained at this point, don't laugh, okay? I think I've trained about 14, 15 dogs so far, okay?
Yeah.
In my whole career. I've never had a dog like this, okay? Either her will is unbelievable or I don't know.
So it shouldn't be a battle of the wills, and whining and barking and nonsense is continuing. It's telling me that there's lack of consistency on your end, and that she is either it's not believable to her, it's not punishable enough, or it's not happening regularly enough.
Okay. All right. So let me tell you, I'll give you a quick scenario. She might get up at 6, and she'll start with a little bit of the wah, 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 a little whine, right? And I'll tap her because I have the computer upstairs.
Yes.
I got a 5-second delay with this Wi-Fi, right? It's not hardwired. So I'll pay attention, and I'll have my ear alert to hearing what's going on downstairs,
yes.
And then I'll tap. Then she'll go back down to 7:30. 7:30 we get up. I come downstairs. She's quiet like a church mouse.
Yes.
Quiet. All right. I go in. She sits. We heel. I'm practicing grabbing the leash without her jumping up on it. Her patience and being polite. So I'll tell her heel. We'll go outside. Sit at the door. Open the door. I'll come out. Heel. We go out. Go do your business, and that's that. So, and that's how we start our day, all right? I'll give her a pinch of freedom as I'm prepping the meal, okay? And then when we prep the meal, it goes into the crate, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And now she's going in there and eating. Sometimes, it depends. She's finicky. If there's too much activity, she don't want to go in. It has
Stop right there. There should be no option of doesn't want to go in. That doesn't fly. That does not fly. At no
So-
point should the leash be off if she's out of that crate.
No, the leash
Yeah.
is always on.
So
It's
you're
dragging.
you're holding the leash and you say, Minnie, kennel.
Okay.
Okay? She has a second to say okay or no thank you. The
Okay,
second
tap,
she
gotcha.
the second she says no thank you, correct and give her another option to go back in. Every
Tell
time,
her bed again.
whatever the word is, every
Yeah,
time
okay.
you have to ask, it goes up. Right? So in our experience, 1 or 2 reps of this and the dog's not finicky anymore, because why would they try to argue when they know we're going to go there?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So like if you're
We'll stay on it.
if you're 3 weeks in and she's still thinking there's an option of not going in, that tells me there's something lacking in your communication to her,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's there should be no option in her head of not going in,
Okay.
right?
I agree with you.
Yeah, so you need to say, okay, we're gonna work on Minnie and the kennel.
Okay.
Okay. Now the hard part is you sounds like you've got a dog who's willing to learn. Now you got to give her the information. Okay.
Okay.
So you can't stop the session until she's going in and out on command, no argument.
Okay.
All right. Remember, this is what the owner's paying for with the e-collar.
Oh,
She
there's
should-
no question. Yeah.
She
so,
should be able to say Minnie kennel, and Minnie runs in there. And if she doesn't, a tap on the button will fix it. That's basically what the owner's paying for.
Okay.
But
All right.
Minnie has to have the knowledge to understand tap on the button means I better haul ass in there because it's only going to go up.
All right.
Now, if you start to go up and she starts flipping out, you've got work to do because she's not understanding how to turn it off is to go in the kennel.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I got you.
Yeah, and you don't want to send a dog home like that because the owner's going to be given instructions on if your dog doesn't listen, tap. If you have to ask again, go higher. And if they go higher and that dog doesn't know what to do with it, the training is not there.
Okay.
They have to
Okay.
understand consequences increase as you don't listen. This is how you turn it off.
Okay. All right.
All right?
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Okay. So we get her in the kennel. It's gotten better.
good.
Okay? But the one thing, and everything has gotten better, but we're not there. The whining. People
When is
come
she
over
whining?
Whining. Say again.
When is she whining?
In the crate and on
Okay.
the platform.
Okay,
Whining.
got it.
So, I tap her for that, and I increase it, and it's, I'm like,
Right.
what the fuck?
Yep, but you remember, she's an animal. You have to teach her what to do with these taps. Okay? This is where the hard part comes in. If this was easy, everybody would be a dog trainer. No one would be sending their dogs.
Sure.
Right?
So are
You
we set
have-
to do a bark collar instead now?
If she understands what to do with the pressure.
Okay.
Does she feel a tap on the e-collar and go,
She will turn in her crate and flop down eventually, but she fights me,
that
I kid
has
you
to
not.
stop. That has to stop before you send her home.
right?
Because, like I said, I mean, again, the owner is paying for her to click a button and it all stops.
Okay.
All right? So she has to understand, in the context of you're on place or you're in the crate, you feel pressure, turn it all off and relax. Because the whining is her believing there's an option you'll let her out or off.
Right.
Right?
No.
Maybe
It's
if I
not
whine.
an option.
Yeah, but to her it is. Because
Yeah.
that's why she's whining.
Okay.
In her head, she has to believe there is no option. And then
So
you
just
get,
keep cranking it up.
but she has to be taught what to do with it. So you've got to teach her double down. E-collar pressure means relax. You keep,
How do I teach her that? Okay, so I'll tell her to kennel.
that's
she'll
the
go
million,
in.
that is the $1 million question. That's the actual training. You have to
Okay.
teach her e-collar pressure means down. E-collar pressure again means put your chin down. Then you do all these reps where you're adding distractions all over the place and you're correcting every time her chin lifts up. And you're correcting every time she whines. Go back down. Relax no matter what's going on around you. But you have to practice it before you leave her in the crate and hear her whining. It has
Alright,
to,
so
right?
let me understand this. I'm gonna send her to her bed.
Mm-hmm.
The minute she starts whining, am I telling
No,
her down or putting her?
she should already be down. At no point should she be sitting or standing on the platform or in the crate. It always should be down.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Alright,
yeah,
okay, that's
right?
the method. Okay, alright, so
Because the place command or the platform, this is where we want our dogs to go to relax.
okay.
Okay? Thoughts lead to actions. Okay? So
Okay.
if your dog is sitting or standing, they're thinking about getting off.
Okay.
All right? When our dogs are on place, I don't want them to be thinking about anything else but,
Chilling out.
yep, I'm just chilling out, watching stuff. No options. I just relax. The second they start to stand or sit, no, lay down. That's why when you watch our videos, all of our dogs are in downs.
I see,
Right?
I see.
And
Okay,
she
that's
should-
another tidbit I didn't catch on to.
Yes.
Okay, that's something important. Okay, so now teaching her what the e-collar means. So now I put her in the crate, I put her in a down,
Yes.
and she gets up, tap her, keep tapping.
She should understand that means to lay down.
Lay down.
Okay? Yep.
All right.
Now, once she understands there's no more fights with this stuff, she understands what to do with the pressure, then you can put a bark collar on. Because the bark collar is basically a robot that is going to do your work for you
When you're not visibly
when
there,
you're not
right?
there, but it doesn't train the dog. It
Right.
doesn't tell
So-
her what to do with it. It just keeps going.
All right, so let me check this out. When we're in front of her, she's doing all the whining.
Yep.
When we're not in front of her, okay. Let me correct myself. When we're in the kitchen, she's whining until we tell her fooey, and tap, and then
Right.
she gets up.
Good.
Okay?
Good.
Then we might leave the room and she'll start the whining again, and
Yes.
I'll tell her fooey from across the way and tap.
Yes.
If we leave the house, she'll whine for a bit, and that's it.
Yes.
Once she realizes that we're upstairs or we're out, completely out, and she can't hear us, that's when she cuts her shit out.
Do you
That's
know
when
why?
she stops.
Do you know why?
Mm,
The option of you letting her out is off the table.
Okay.
So you need to change her mindset to say, even when I'm right in front of you, the option isn't there. And so
Got
the
it.
only way to do that is to consistently correct her until it stops for good, and you can stop it in one word. You know what? You should be walking into that kennel room and she's going like
In the morning she is.
every time. State troopers behind me. I better be on watching my every move.
Okay.
Okay? And that includes a peep. I can drop a pin in here and it's so quiet. That's the level that I want you to take her to.
Okay.
If you
Alright.
can't do it, her owner's not gonna be able to do it. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
That I got.
Yeah.
She's chewing the hell out of the crate. Like I said,
Teeth, video camera on her, teeth on bars, go to whatever number stops it. That can't happen like past 10 minutes after she's dropped off.
past 10 minutes.
Yes, we shut that down immediately. Immediately we shut that down.
Explain that to me.
Like-
What do you mean? You still tapping her 10 minutes after she took her mouth off of it?
No, the dog gets
Okay.
here day one, we shut it down. It never
Oh.
happens again.
Okay.
It cannot, we can't have dogs breaking their teeth. I can't have dogs ruining these kennels that I bought.
Yeah, man.
So that's actually one of the easiest things to fix. Okay? If
Okay.
you're doing it right, she has to believe that's not an option. The bars are hot. If it's not,
Right, the floor is lava.
the floor
right?
is lava, right? But if you're not doing it consistently to a number that she cares about, she's just going to keep trying. They're opportunists.
So let me tell you, today, we started a little routine where it is heel, place, heel, bed. And she's been doing it okay so far. here and there. I'm not sure she can tolerate or not, but they were small. When I came back, I had to run into town and come back to meet you. I come back to a whole pile of throw up. And I'm like, she's never thrown up before, and the only thing that I did change was the giving her a little bit of American cheese or whatever to, like, you know, get her, you know, rolling a little bit and, you know, get a little bit of a push start, you know?
Yeah.
But now that's clean. So let me show you what we're doing so far. And I mean, I'm all ears to what do you call it? You critiquing, you know?
Yeah. Well, just going back to the cheese. If you want to use food in training, that's fine. I would use her kibble.
Okay.
Okay.
Her kibble can mix of wet and whatever, and she's like, she thumbs her nose at it.
Oh yeah, then don't use food. Don't use food then. Don't use food.
So don't use food. All right.
No,
So
because she's turning her nose up at it. Remember this. There's two kinds of motivation. Motivation to earn. Motivation to avoid. If you have to bribe her with cheese and then it's making her throw up, it's not going to get you anywhere.
All right. So I only did that today. I'm like, what the hell? So that was out. But what else I'm doing? And that was another question, number 2. I noticed Josh walking around with a 6-foot lead and let's say a 30-foot lead tied to him.
Yes.
Okay. I happen to have the 30-foot and I got the 6-foot, and I am healing her and tapping her every time her head passes my knee.
Yes.
Pop, 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 pop.
Yes.
And distractions or whatever. So she's doing really nicely with that. Sit, you know, whatever. Is she solid? No way. You know, she saw a squirrel or there's another dog in the neighborhood who's barking. She'll bark back at him.
Right.
Tap her. All right. So explain to me the setup of the 6-foot and the 30-foot, because in my head, I'm like, I gotta keep going. I can't keep focusing on this, just the crate, because we're never gonna tackle the heel or anything else. You know, she could not be left alone in her house because she shreds everything in the house. This girl got not an attitude, she got an anger problem, okay? She gets mad and she, in front of your face, she tore up the platform. She'll use her paw to grab the leash and try to, you know, get it to chew it. And I'm like, look at this bitch. It's laughable. And I'm like, it's amazing. When she's mad, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna chew your couch.
Yeah.
So this is a problem that the clients were having, and I clearly see it. All right, go ahead. The leash and the that's it.
So when we're teaching heel for the first time, there's a 6-foot leash on, and there's also a long line that's attached to Josh's backpack. Okay, 30 feet. So if he feels like he's ready to drop a leash, we still have the dog attached to us, even though the dog doesn't feel like they are.
Okay. Mine's super light too. Okay.
Yeah. So
9mm.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we can then transition from an on-leash to an off-leash heel immediately, whenever we feel the dog is ready. That's one reason we use that. The second reason is if we come across a distraction, squirrel, dog, deer, anything the dog wants to drop everything and run and bark towards, Josh is able to drop the 6-foot leash, let the dog go, give a correction, recall the dog back, all without fear that the dog's not attached to us anymore.
Okay.
But it's important that we let the dog make that choice in that moment, thinking they're free.
Okay.
Correct it in the moment, recall back, correct if they don't recall back, and the dog has this memorable experience of, when I choose not to listen, this happens. And there's no getting out of it.
Got it. All right, let me, oh man, got ticks here today. Where we are, the ticks are horrible.
Oh.
Horrible. And they're on medication and all that, but still it doesn't matter.
It sucks.
It's disgusting, honestly. All right, let's put that over there. All right, let me show you what I got so far.
Okay.
Honey, up. Honey, bed. Let's go. Honey, jump in your bed. Okay, I'll lay down. All right. Mayhew. Good girl. Come on. Place. So you're telling me
The red. First thing is try not to say her name before each command.
All right.
Minnie come, Minnie heel. Because what you're going to create is her hearing her name and guessing what comes next. Her name should be an attention getter.
Got it.
So, Minnie, yes, Christina, come. If she's already looking at you, you don't need to say her name.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Got it. I'll work on that.
Yeah,
right away.
because you're going to start noticing you're saying her name, and before you've even given the command, she's coming towards you. That's not what you want.
Okay.
Okay, so, and then put a space between her name and each command. Minnie, yes, Christina, come.
Okay.
Okay? And remember, if she's already looking at you, you don't need to say her name.
Right. Okay.
When you are giving the commands, like the down command right there, think of it like a metronome, like a beat. Okay? So it would be down, good, or down, click, good. And each time you have to ask, you are dialing up on the e-collar. You shouldn't be going straight to the red. Okay, so it's a steady incline.
Okay.
If you go,
It's always down.
yes,
Then the bed is always down.
yes.
Okay. Name once,
Only if she's not looking at you.
if not looking at me. Okay.
Okay, because maybe you just want to say, Minnie, good girl.
Mhm.
You do not want to create a dog who hears your name and comes running to you.
Space between, let's say, name and command.
Yep.
Okay.
Think of it like a beat.
Okay.
All right.
And then let's talk about this.
Yes. So let's say you want her to down on the cot. Down. And she has a 1 Mississippi to either lay down or say, I'm good. No, thank you. If she lays down, good girl. Doesn't have to be over the top, just good girl.
Right. Okay.
If she doesn't lay down, you say, no, down, click, something mild. If she still says, no thanks, down, you're scrolling up. I would do 5 to
You
10.
are scrolling.
Yes.
I
Click.
tap at the same level or tap just a pinch higher?
Each time you have to ask, you're going up.
Okay, go up.
Okay, now if you're having to ask 6, 7, 8 times, you're not going up high enough, or she doesn't understand what you're asking of her.
Okay.
Now
so
you're
black buttons for commands. Say it. She doesn't do it.
give
if
her
she
one.
does it, good girl. Just keep it nonchalant. Good girl.
Yes.
If not, say yes. Say no and go up. A few.
Right. Now, this is how we send our dogs home. This is what I tell owners. You give your dog a command. They have a 1 Mississippi to either do it or not do it.
Mhm.
If they do it, good. You never even touch the remote. If they don't do it, there has to be a consequence. But you can't be freaking out. You can't be running, getting frantic, hitting the remote. You stay super calm. You repeat the command. You click the remote. The dog either does or doesn't. Each time you have to ask again, the remote's going up. And
Each
it's
time.
each time. Stay consistent with that. Imagine that the dog never disobeys without a consequence. Put that on repeat, it's gonna stop testing you. If your dog is testing you 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now, somewhere in your day, it's getting away with something that it shouldn't, where it's giving the dog the idea that all of these things are optional. And maybe this time she won't correct me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah. So
She's still in there.
So to the dog, you're working on a system where first we teach. So you got to teach her what all this stuff means.
Right.
Okay? Once you know she's not confused anymore, now we hold her accountable for what she knows.
Makes all sense.
Right?
It's what I do with all the other dogs.
Right?
This one, I don't know. Go ahead.
Now once you've taught her the information, really, it's all, like, yes, the dog decides whether you hit the button or not, but it's all dependent on the human that's operating the remote.
The timing, sure.
The timing and the intensity.
And consistency, right?
Yes.
And the
So the whole system is really simple. We tell owners, do not make this complex. You ask your dog to do something. They either do it or they don't. If they don't, now you have your remote. Because of the training, they understand what to do with the pressure. So you shouldn't have to be continually asking. Because each time you ask, the dog knows the number will go higher. So why would it try to test you?
All right, here's the other question. It just came to you. I knew I had 3. So I'll give her a correction, and she'll bitch about it.
That's an attitude, right?
That's it. 100%.
Yes. So what you need to do is, you're going to say, I know exactly what I'm going to tackle in this session. I'm going to go after her attitude. Okay? I'm going to ask her to do something I know she doesn't want to do. Whether that be a down on wet grass, going into the crate when you just pulled her out, and at the first sign of I don't wanna, you go high. But the main thing is she has to understand that her shutting up is what ends the conversation.
Okay.
That's the hard part.
Okay. I have been doing that. I will continue to do that.
Now, down, but also your chin on the ground.
Double down, right. Down and chin.
Yes. So a dog can be in a down position, and we look at him, and we tell him down again, and they go, and
yeah, they give up.
It's for the mind.
Right.
It's for the mind.
Got it.
It's telling them, you might be here a while. There's no option of release.
Alright, let me grab hers. Let me show you what else. Not what else, but here goes. Minnie Hill?
Don't say her name.
Did you see that?
No, the camera's too high up.
Good girl. Oh, damn it. She walks right in.
See?
Good girl. Good baby.
Christina.
Minnie, place. Down. Down. Good. Yes. Stay. So we gotta start working on distance and distraction and all that shit. Let's do that. There she is. There's that girl. Good girl. So when I give her a down command like this, how long should she be on that platform before I release her into a heel?
However long you want her to be. Hours.
Okay.
Now, be careful about trying to do reps too fast. Like, put her on and then healing her off and then recalling her and putting... Our style is more like not so many reps, but more using it realistically. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like, I'm not...
So, drill her on just one... If I'm translating this, drill her on just one thing?
We use
get
drills...
what I can.
Right. If she already has the knowledge on all these commands, you don't need to do drills. Because she already learned them.
Alright.
So if she understands come, sit, down, heel, place, you don't need to keep doing these fast-paced reps. Now you just need to start using it in real life. And most importantly, what happens when she really doesn't want to listen?
Most importantly, what?
What happens when she doesn't want to do it?
Okay.
And you need to be ready for that. Leash in hand, saying, you know what? I'm throwing off the routine. She doesn't want to do it. I'm prepared. And now she's going to learn what happens when she doesn't want to do it.
Got it. Okay. Alright, so the way we do it is just like how you guys do it, where we put them on the place.
Yep.
I saw Gabby's house. She's got them, locked down with the window. She's
Yep.
got them on leashes.
Now,
We got them here with chains.
Yes.
Because we have dogs that chew.
Important thing is that the leash or the chain, that's not holding them there. I want her to have the opportunity to step off. because
Right.
because
So she could make
so
that decision not to do
yes,
it.
make the decision, get corrected, step back on. And then you're going to start to do crazy stuff like throw balls, get out the vacuum, ring the doorbell, get down on the floor and baby talk her. All
Okay.
with the idea of getting her to make a mistake, correcting her, putting her back, and repeating until it's perfect.
Okay.
That's it.
Alright.
That's all proofing is. And once you feel like you've got this stuff down pat, like she's bomb proof, then you start taking her off property. Seeing if she can do it at Home Depot.
Got it. Okay.
Have a new handler work with her. But she looks good. Her mind looks good right now.
Let me ask you something. How long do you suppose it takes to make it stick?
I mean, my gosh. Our program right now is 16 days, and usually by day 6, we're off property. Off leash. You know, but we're kind of like a well-oiled machine. We have the protocol down pat.
Yeah. What else is in to say? So, all right, that I gotta work on. They want to go off leash. I said 3 weeks. Then, she told me she had these problems. I said off leash is 3 weeks.
He's a shepherd pit mix. Owner said that he couldn't be crated, and they haven't left the house in a year because if they do leave the house, he shreds everything to pieces. But he breaks out of crates.
Yeah, that's what this one did.
Right? So we get him here, day 1. We do our day 1 protocols, which is recall on the tone to a sit stay, and no pulling, no tension on the leash. We come in.
Recall to the tone.
Yep. That's our day 1. Tone means come to me and sit.
Tone. Okay. Yep. Why not a vibration and why not a tap, a stim?
So they do get stim for non-compliance, but they learn pretty quickly to respond to the tone.
Yeah, because it doesn't hurt.
No,
it doesn't feel weird.
But it's consistent. It doesn't matter who's handling the dog, owner, trainer, Gabby. The tone is right there behind their ear, and they learn through the training that if I don't listen to the tone, there's a consequence coming. That's why it works.
Right. So
okay. That's our day 1.
Comes.
So
right.
we go inside on day 1 with a dog who is now dropping on a dime, turning on a dime, and coming to us when they hear a tone and sitting. And they're able to walk with no tension in the leash. Not a heel, but more of like a follow. Then we go in and do a crate protocol. We don't end that until they're going in the crate, no leash guidance, no stim.
When are they dropping them off? Early in the morning?
9:30. But this all takes probably about an hour and a half total. So then, once we end our crate session, dogs going in, no pressure, no leash guidance, staying even though the door's open, we close the crate, video camera gets set up, and now we watch from upstairs. Any shenanigans are shut down immediately. Podrick tried to break out of his crate almost immediately, pawing, biting. We shut that down. We have not seen it since.
Yeah, well, on this end, that all started happening, and just yesterday, she's nosing the crate door again. And I'm like, are we fucking kidding me? We're going in reverse now?
Yeah.
Like, what's it gonna take?
Yeah, so I think there's something with the way that you're living with her, I don't know what it is, that's making her believe these things are acceptable choices.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
All right.
Think about that. Like, there's something in her brain that's like, you know what? I can nose at the crate. We're in week 3. This lady's not gonna do anything. Seriously, by the end of day 1, these dogs are, you know how your behavior changes when there's a police officer driving behind you?
Yeah, I was watching Susan Garrett or whatever.
That's how these dogs are behaving here. At the end of day 1. Like, they are so conscious of every choice. Like, is this okay? Is that okay? Can I go out? Can I pee here? And that's what we want.
I'm almost thinking maybe I'm talking too much to her.
Well,
I'm going to talk less.
Have you ever seen Josh's raw, uncut, unedited training videos? They're all silent.
Uh-huh.
Everything is e-collar. Everything is e-collar and body language. I can send you some if you want.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
But it's very few words and a lot of information with the tool, the leash, and your body. Because they don't understand words.
Yeah, I think the majority of my words is because I'm losing my...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Gabby told you.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, she didn't. But part of the job of being the trainer is to always be 3 steps ahead of them and know what decision they're going to make before they make it so you can be ready.
Yeah.
And that only comes with working with tons and tons and tons of dogs and getting a lot of experience and messing up a lot. You're going to learn a lot from her.
Well, let me tell you, like I said, I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I think I basically verbally vomited on you guys the first 2 times, and I'm like,
yeah.
I was totally losing my shit, and I'm like, these people must be cracking up when I get off the skin of the video.
No, because we've all been there. There's no way. Like, I didn't come out of the womb training dogs. I still suck. I mean, I'm the one that does, like, I wouldn't say I suck, but, like, I do all the back end stuff. Josh and Gabby are the trainers. But it's hard. It is really hard.
You know. All right. So,
I'm going to send you a video right now.
I'm telling you, when she starts to whining, listen, unfortunately for me, I didn't have an opportunity to have children.
Have you ever?
So we're not around kids a lot.
Yeah.
Just our environment. But my neighbor has a kid, and that kid starts crying. I'm like, check, please. I'm getting the fuck out of this.
I know, you have no patience. Yeah.
I have 0 tolerance.
Yeah.
So I could see myself, I already know. I'm yelling, or not yelling, but I'm warning her.
You're frustrated.
You're damn right. And I'm like, that's got to be it. It's got to be me too vocal with her.
Right.
I'm still tapping. I got this fucking thing on. I'm like,
yeah.
And then you say you don't take it off at night. No, because she could act up. And I'm watching, I'm tapping her from the room upstairs. I'm like,
yeah.
This bitch, don't give up.
So try to remember, you can't be frustrated when you're working with them. It's
right.
all unemotional. And your response is based on her choice. So, and that doesn't involve emotion. Okay? It's simply a back and forth. Whine, correct. Whine again, correct higher. And you are the beat that's consistent, and you're not going to stop until she stops.
Okay.
And it's harder said than done. I know it. It is.
All right. So, we went to the middle of the field just to bond after we did some recalls. Okay.
Yeah.
She sat down with me. She wanted to be right next to me.
Yeah.
Okay. And today, after some recalls, she sat on this. We got boulders over here. All right. Everything is rock. You'll twist your ankle. All right. So she sat on that. And every time I recalled her, and I call her name, I recall, call her name, COME, and then tap. Then she comes, and I press the red button, and she comes right in.
Yes.
And then I release as soon as she's here.
Good.
Somebody told me tap, 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 and I'm like, I just pressed the button once and let the tapping do the whole thing for 10 seconds.
Well,
That's what the red button is, right?
We use the red button differently on ours.
Okay.
So the way we have it set up is we use tone first.
Right.
That is Pavlovian. They cannot ignore that. Once they
Right.
understand, that means come to my person or else there's a consequence. You rarely ever have to use the stim.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call eTechnologies and tell them to set up. So we have tone first.
Yes. But she has to understand what it means. Because
Right.
the first time you use it, she's going to go, what the fuck was that?
Right.
And you
right,
go,
right.
you're right there to say, come, good girl. And
Right.
then after she understands what it means,
Then the black button.
now you have to set up a situation where she doesn't want to come to you.
Right.
Then she has to get a punishment. And
Which
then,
is the black button.
yes, but it depends on what number. It has to be a number she cares about.
Okay.
Once she
And
understands.
that I've been playing with that all day. I'm down to, sometimes 6s, 11s, 15s,
Yeah.
20s. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
Oops. And then if she still doesn't react, then go to red.
But she has to know what to do with it. And you've got to have that long line in your hand.
Got it.
Because if she starts to go the opposite way, you're right here going, nope, come.
This
And
way, bring
yep,
it in. Right.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna keep going. All right, so let's end this one.
Okay. I hope I'm helping you.
Yes, you are.
It's-
Sometimes repetition for
Yes.
the human is
Yes.
also just as important.
Absolutely.
I know what certain things that I'm doing right. There's other things I didn't know that you always have them in a down.
Oh yeah.
If I'm going to follow these methods,
Absolutely.
I'm going to follow to the letter of the law.
Yeah.
And I'm going to speak to eCollar now and have them. So hold on. You see this? Oh, shit. Okay. So this here is the black button.
Yes.
You use that, and you use the red, and then
I've never used that remote before.
the only reason why I got it was because it feels better in my hand. And the round one felt weird.
Yeah, I've never used that remote before, ever. So we use it a little bit differently.
All right, but let me see if I can get tone activated. All right. Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
When's Gabby getting back?
She comes back next Monday, but I can do some with you if you need me to.
Okay, so next Monday. So the next meeting I think would be Friday.
Okay, sure.
If we could schedule a Friday.
Yeah.
And then at some point you got to let me go. You know what I mean?
Well, I want to
let me fly.
I know what it feels like. It sucks because I've trained alone. I've trained alone before. I know what it feels like. It sucks.
And I worked for the post office on Sunday. I asked my husband, please. I took the e-collar off one night because I had to recharge it. I got 3 of them. I got 2 doctors and the e-collar, the mini educator you told me to get, just a different shape. I got to give her neck a break.
Yeah.
And I